Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the standards video for CrossFit Granbury 2016 Love Competition. So sorry the audio quality is awful. I'm in a hotel room recording this, so it sounds like I'm in a robot that just ate me. Alright, the first thing we're going to go over is the clean ladder. You're going to have 5 minutes to complete all the lifts, unless obviously you can't complete a lift, in which case we're going to tell you to get off the floor and it's going to be up to the next athlete. So as you can see, each athlete is going to get 1 minute. At the end of that 1 minute, all athletes are going to continue on to the next heavier weight and attempt to lift that weight again. If for whatever reason you can't lift the weight, that's just fine. You can try as many times as you want inside of that 1 minute, but at the end of 1 minute, if you haven't got it, you'll be asked to leave the floor. Any method's fine, squat clean, regular clean. You can pick it up and do a hang clean if you want to, but if for whatever reason you move ahead and find yourself getting that no rep or can't get it within the minute, then we'll ask you to leave the floor and you'll be left with whatever points you've earned so far, and we'll continue on to the rest of the competition. Going over some of the more specific portions of the reps for the clean ladder, Jen's going to show us some good and bad reps, and Chris, our judge over there, is going to show us all right. All right, so first you can see, going all the way through, make sure the elbows are pressed out into the bar. If not, no rep. Good rep, coming up all the way under it, squat clean, she's able to stand up all the way through. Chris gives her the go-ahead. If she's doing the same thing, starts to pull, doesn't come all the way up before she drops that, then she's going to get the no rep. Finally, split, also just fine. Make sure you're coming to fully extended whenever you finish that movement though. If you don't, no rep. For the gymnastics competition, we have a few different movements. First is the pistol. To note on the pistol, make sure that you're going all the way down, the hip crease passing the top of that knee, keeping the heel of your foot off the ground. No rep if that heel touches, or for whatever reason you don't squat all the way down or squat all the way down to fall, then it's not going to work. For burpees, chest needs to touch the ground. You need to come all the way up and clap your hands over your head, hitting in general a straight line up top. All right, so all those are good. Make sure you don't come up kind of bent over. Make sure you're not trying to speed through it where that chest isn't hitting the ground. Judges pay close attention to that. If their chests are not touching the ground, it's absolutely a no rep. Same thing if they're not standing all the way up, it's a no rep. Everybody's favorite, double unders, really cut and dry. Make sure that as you're counting it, that rope is passing under the feet twice for every jump. You can see it kind of going in slow-mo here just a little bit to try to keep up with it. Any method's fine. If you're picking the knees up, if you're doing any kind of bend, that's just fine. We're just looking for the rope path to be able to cross underneath those feet twice during one jump. Singles are not going to count for the double under competition. Exactly. Don't do that. Let's take a look at pull-ups. Pull-ups, most people have done these enough, you know what we're looking for. Judges, make sure that that chin is going over the bar. Any method you want to get over there is just fine. Whether you want to do a kip or a butterfly or some type of strict pull, anything's just fine as long as that chin is going all the way over the bar and they're continuing to that total extended position at the bottom. No reps, obviously chin not going over bar. Same thing, chin not over bar, or not being able to pull yourself all the way up or extend all the way out. For ring row, feet on the line, and you're making sure that you're pulling all the way into the chest. Either from the feet or from the toes is just fine as long as you're not moving your feet all the way up and not actively kipping like this as you're going through those ring rows. That's going to be a no rep. Also not moving the feet back or forward in any position. Once they're on the line, they need to stay on the line the entire time during the exercise. Air squats, we're making sure that we're going all the way down, hip crease passing the knees or at least a parallel. Judges pay close attention to that. Everything else doesn't matter. Back position doesn't matter. If they're bent over a lot, it doesn't matter as long as they're not twerking or doing something else awkward. Make sure that they're just going all the way down for it. It's going to be just fine. All right, for the box step-ups, For this, it's going to touch the ground and get extended overhead each time. Make sure that you're pushing all the way through that weight every single time you bring it up, and make sure it makes physical contact with the ground. Any grip you want to use is just fine, but that's the movement path it needs to take. For the step-ups, just like box jumps, every time we've done those, make sure that you're coming in full extension on top of the box before you start coming back down. You can hold that weight in any configuration while you're doing those box step-ups. It doesn't matter. Whatever you find is most comfortable for you is just fine. One hand hold on one side, Chris might alternate the other side, is going to be just fine. Alright, notice the way he has his hands on that weight is what makes it a no rep. Alright, thumbs need to be facing out and down for it to count. If those don't count, he's not extending all the way at the top, so make sure that it's hands forward all the way down with that overhand grip, and he's going to touch the ground before he comes back up. He's not extending all the way, still has a bend in his hips on the way up, so make sure that you're standing all the way up. It's going to be hard, you're going to be tired, but just make sure that you're paying attention to good form, and you'll be just fine. Alright, if you drop the weight or lose contact with it for any time, it's a 4 setup penalty. You're going to take that weight, put it in between both your feet. Setups are going to be from the hands touching the ground, coming up and touching the weight. It's not a big deal, honestly, it's just a time waster. Just don't set down the weight, and you're going to be just fine with this particular movement. And that's it for the standards. If you have any questions or concerns, you can shoot us an email, jim@crossfitgranbury.com, or shoot me a text message or phone call, whatever.